WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have from Vermont, Stonecutter Spirits Heritage Cask Whiskey finished in Cabernet barrels. 45% alcohol by volume, which is 90 proof, 750 milliliter bottle, aged at least 4 years. Now I really like the bottle. You can see this here actually is like a homage on the Middleburg, Vermont stonecutters, which were famous, I think, in the 19th century, around the 1860s and so on. Whiskey base number 96830. And I have batch number 4, I have bottle 179, and the question of the day is, how did Jason in Germany get this bottle from Middleburg, Vermont? Very simple. I bought it on an auction from England. How did the bottle make its way over to England? I have no idea. I'm sure it was in a suitcase of one of the people from England that made a vacation in Vermont, saw it, went to the distillery or went to one of the shops that actually sell it. It's only sold in Vermont and New Hampshire. Made its way somehow over to England and Scotland, and I actually bid on it. No one knew about it, so no one really wanted to have it. I paid a total of £23 for this. I think that's around, let's say, $32. And it cost me another almost $10 to get it to Germany. Postage, taxes, and so on. So I'm paying about 39 euros, which is about $45 for this bottle. Now, they claim to have a Kentucky... It's not a claim, I'm sorry. This juice was actually distilled in Kentucky. So the birthplace of this is Kentucky. They claim to have a Irish type of maturation. Tripled cask is what they call it. Of course, it's in a first fill virgin oak, which it has to be because it's in America. It doesn't have to be, but it usually is. It's actually then finished in a Cabernet, which is a type of wine. I do not know if it's Cabernet Sauvignon or if it's a Cabernet Blanc, which would be the white or the red berries or the grapes. And of course, if it's triple barreled, as they do say, then it has to be actually in a third barrel, which might just be a used barrel. It says here, distilled like a bourbon, aged like an Irish whiskey, and finished like a Scotch. Heritage Cask Whiskey traveled from Kentucky to Vermont to undergo our custom triple barrel aging process. I didn't find anything about this triple barrel aging process. Notes of caramel and soft oak balanced with sweet spice before giving way to a lush, smooth finish. That's one way of putting it. All right, and then of course it's finished like a Scotch, because Scotch also use wine barrels. So it won the gold medal. I think it was San Francisco in 2016. Bravo. And Zivan Kotal and Zas Stewart actually started the distillery. And it's very, very interesting. They don't have a distillery per se. They started this Stonecutter Spirits. They have a gin and a vodka, I think, as well. And this is their main whiskey that they offer. At least 4 years old, 45%. All right, let's try it. The nose, first of all. It's a very, very interesting nose. I like it. It smells a little bit like a Jim Beam product. In my German video, actually compared it to a Jim Beam Signatory Craft bourbon whiskey finished with rare Spanish brandy. This was something I picked up, which is a very exotic type of thing. The 45% are very, very well integrated. And I get this really, really nice, and I'm going back to my childhood. I'm going back almost 40 years. I hate it that I can say 40 years I remember. With my family, we went to SeaWorld in Ohio. And we actually, during the day, went to the Snow Cone Man. And he gave me a purple snow cone. And that purple snow cone was type of berries. And that's exactly what I get. I get a raspberry mixed with a blueberry, raspberry, blueberry, and strawberry mixed together. And I think, to be very, very honest, what I actually got was a rainbow snow cone. And because of the different flavors, I actually got exactly that. That's what it was. Ah, wow, those memories are very, very, very far away. 40 years ago, and yet this whiskey evoked that memory back into my brain. Amazing. Thank you very much, guys, there at Stonecutter Spirits. Stone cutting, of course, is a art form. Germans were very, very good at it. I would not be amazed if the Germans were the people who settled down there in Middleburg, Vermont in the 19th century. But this bottle should actually pay with its unique octagon design, maybe a little bit of a reference back to that. So, and also you have here the tools they use. Also on the top, you also have the tools they use. I really do like the bottle. And what you cannot see maybe is actually on the back of the label, you can also, yeah, you can see that. That's very good. You can also have the tools they used here as the stone cutters. Very, very, very nicely done. So going back, the nose, I really appreciate, I really like. Now let's try it. 45% for some reason is a little hot. I like barrel proof Elijah Craig, so I'm not the problem of it being hot for me. It's a problem of it not being aged long enough. 4 years is not really enough to give it a wonderful, wonderful finish, and yet this is 45%, 4-year-old. And now the Cabernet finish actually is there on the palate. It's very, very, I get rose petals, I get berries, and I get a little bit of a deep, dark type of balsamico vinegar. Very, very weak, but very, very present. So much better with water. This is a whiskey that really, really astonished me. I've never had a whiskey that goes from 45% to 42% and turns into a wonderful whiskey. Just dilute it down a little bit, and you'll be amazed at the flavor and amazed at the smoothness, amazed at just the quality of this whiskey. But yet at 45%, it doesn't present itself as such. The only little problem I have at the end is there's a little bit of sawdust there. It's a little bit of dryness, and it's pulling out a little bit of the saliva from my mouth. Other than that, it's a very, very nice whiskey. I'm going to give it a B-. It's not way up there, but it is a very, very good mark, B- in my book. I don't give many bourbons Bs. I do like the fact that they try to distill it like a bourbon, mature it like an Irish. I would like to know more about that triple cask, and that third cask I can't figure out. Virgin oak, Cabernet, wine, and what's in between. And they like to do it with the finish with Scottish whiskey. Very, very nice. Nice bottle design, good price, everything's okay. I'm happy. I'm going to give it a value for money as a C. C-, C, depends on where you are. The only problem is 2018, the availability is Vermont and New Hampshire. Selected stores in New Hampshire and a few in Vermont. That's it. Which, once again, I just find so amusing. WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, is tasting and giving the first YouTube review of a whiskey from Vermont over here in Europe. The ways of the whiskey world are just unfathomable. I love it. I'm very, very happy. It's a privilege to do so. Keep up the good work, Mr. Cotel and Mr. Stewart. I think Mr. Savan is a man and Sass might be a woman. I don't know. Thank you very much for making this whiskey. I like it. Keep up the good work, and I will see you in the future. WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. My question of the day is, what is your favorite New England whiskey? Your favorite whiskey from New England. Does that also encompass maybe New York? I'm going to say yes, why not? And if it does, I'm going to say that is the Hill Rock. Hill Rock double cask rye whiskey is my favorite New England whiskey. If it doesn't cover New York, upstate New York, and the Hudson Valley, then I'm lost. Sorry, I don't know what to say. Then it might have to be the Stonecutter spirits. This is one of the better spirits, one of the better whiskeys I've had. Thank you very much for watching. Whiskey Jason here. Please like, please subscribe, and please tell others about this crazy American tasting, unique and rare whiskey, things you probably will never ever see. Great YouTube strategy, by the way. Hey, I don't know what I'm looking for. Let's find something no one else has ever done a video about. Oh, Whiskey Jason did the video. All right, thank you very much for telling others about this crazy guy over here in Europe tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. See you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Bye-bye.